All right, guys. Sorry I'm shirtless. I'm sweating my ass off here. So we got the engine inside, and with my buddy's determination, we broke the eccentric shaft bolt free. So I'm going to show you that. You can see, whoa, it's free. So basically we used a fucking breaker bar with like 6 extensions on it. I hung off the side of the engine there, and then he pulled on it this way, and I made this little fucking brace here for one of the dowel pins on the flywheel. So something I learned though is that my clutch is basically brand new. I mean, there's not even really any wear on the pressure plate at all, and you know it looks brand fucking new. So that's pretty cool. I don't think I'm going to be replacing that or needing to replace it because it's new, but we'll see just how how everything looks once I pull it apart. But I did look at the rotor. The rotor looks okay. There are some nicks and dings in it, which is to be expected, but all the apex seals are fine. I don't fucking know what's going on. So, this is one of the reasons why I wanted to break it apart and find out what exactly is going on the inside. So, I did get my daughter, but while I'm doing that, I'm going to go borrow one of the 54 millimeter sockets from somebody else who's done the same exact thing before. So I'm going to get that, and then hopefully tonight I'm going to be breaking this thing apart and finding out exactly how everything is. All right, wish me luck.
Alright guys, so I needed a 54 millimeter socket to get that nut off on the flywheel, and luckily I found a dude on the local pages that was willing to let me borrow this nut. His name is, the socket, his name is Greg. In order to use that socket, I had to adapt it with this 3/4 to 1/2 inch adapter that I got from like the local, I didn't get this one, it's just picture one, got from the local Astro Tools. So we got that home, and just like getting the front crank bolt out, I had to basically like hold onto the motor while we pulled off the nut. First things first though is we had to take off the pressure plate, and unfortunately I found that my pressure plate, the bolts were in finger loose, like they were not even in tight at all. So this thing must have recently been put on, because there's no way it would have held up that long. So got the pressure plate off, the clutch off, and the first thing I noticed was that the wear on the clutch was basically nil. I mean, there were still grooves on the pressure plate. It basically had no wear whatsoever. This thing was brand new. It's the Exedi Stage 1 clutch, I believe, and I was worried about having to replace my clutch, but I don't really want a Stage 1 clutch, but there's no wear on this thing. I might end up selling it, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, so I pulled the engine apart, and this is what we found. Yeah, man, it's not looking good, guys. And then I must have dropped a valve, No, I'm just joking. But anyways, pulled the engine apart, and I found this like nick or indent. I saw it when I was rotating the engine around, but a really strange shape. All the apex seals seem to be in perfect shape. I didn't really get a great look at all of them, but I just rushed through all this, and it's just right at the apex of the apex. It's right at the edge of the rotor there, and it looks so familiar. What is this shape? I'm trying to figure out what it is. Is it a clamp? But I've definitely seen this shape before. It's very familiar looking to me, and I'm just trying to figure out what I sucked into my engine, what exactly caused this, never, I don't know. And then it hit me. Obviously, Illuminati. The Illuminati's confirmed, guys. The Illuminati just hates rotaries. They want me to LS swap my engine, and clearly that's exactly what's going on here. Nah, I'm just joking. Anyway, so we're trying to figure out exactly what impacted that rotor, like what caused that damage, what caused that impact site. So I'm looking at my exhaust here, and it made it through the engine, didn't destroy the turbo at all, but it definitely hit the catalyst with some force and caused it to crack or hit it. You can even see a little triangle right there, so it did impact the catalyst, but I wasn't able to get anything out of there, so I have no idea like what it was, or at this point I didn't know. So I start looking at my housings, and I can see right away there's a clear sign of lack of lubrication with all these chatter marks. That's a really bad sign that you're not getting enough lubrication. And, I'm like wondering what's going on. And maybe that's why there was so much oil slinging down the side of my engine, like on that one housing, on the front housing. So, um, see some gouging here, a little bit of gouging, and some more chatter marks. But it isn't until you really get some good lighting that you can see the extent of that one gouge. That right there is the reason I don't have any compression in that front housing. So right there, that's the issue. So yeah, it's pretty deep between that and and I was getting some compression on one of the faces. But so then I look at the rotors again, and you can see that chip. But look at the difference of the discoloration. One looks brand new, and one has no plating on it whatsoever. So what the hell is going on with that front rotor? Obviously no lubrication, getting too hot. I don't know what's going on, but you can see that it's clearly a different color, a different series. Who knows what's going on? But the channel seems to be straight. You can see that even though it impacted really close to the edge there, it's straight. And I contacted a local guy, Makoto, at MK Garage, and he checked it out personally, and he said he would be willing to use this rotor, and he's built a lot of rotaries. So I also contacted Built to Apex, and I asked them, and they had their lead guy look at it, and he said yes, it's close, but it's definitely usable. So yeah, it's definitely usable. It's not, the groove is smooth, nothing catches in it. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take advantage of this opportunity. I contacted Built to Apex, and I decided to have my rotors lightened. As you can see here, they CNC mill out the insides of the rotors. This is a brand new service that they're offering. It's $250. That's it, to have your rotors lightened by these guys. And I could not pass up an opportunity like that, a lightweight rotating assembly. So they're going to be lightening my rotors, and then Mazda Tricks is going to be balancing the assembly. While I was pulling apart the engine, I found a few more things that I needed to be replaced, like the motor mounts had basically disintegrated. This is from all the oil that had come out of that failed oil injector, which I don't know if I mentioned that. I had a failed oil injector and disintegrated the mount. So I had Built to Apex also is going to be sending me the solid engine mounts for the FD. I don't think these are the FD ones. These might be the FC ones. And I'm also going to order their OMP delete kit, and this might be the FC one as well. Basically, I'm going to be ordering their OMP delete kit because I don't want to have to rely on the OMP anymore. It's obviously faulty, it's not reliable, and it definitely hurt me in the end. So back to the clutch. That local guy, Greg, who let me borrow that socket, he was selling this ACT clutch kit that he spent well over $1,000 on. It's lightweight flywheeled pulleys. He sold this to me for $500, and what a steal! I could not pass it up. It's an upgraded clutch. It's got everything I wanted. And he was like, also, I was like, hey man, do you know anybody selling a housing? He's like, yeah, I am. He's like, I'll give you one of these spare housings I have for $50. And I was like, nah, dude, I'll give you more money than $50. It's like, I don't want to spend $1,400 on a new one, but I'll give you more than $50. And he would not take any more money than $50 for this spare housing. Now, it's not perfect. It's not brand new, but it's in way better condition than the one with the gouge in it. It'll work for me, and it's got only one small minor defect in it, but you know what? It'll definitely work. So you can see there's no chatter marks in it. It's the one in the middle. The one in the front's the one that's got the gouge in it. The one in the middle is the one that he sold me. And you can see the only spot that has issues is right here on the inside, where the side, I can't remember what it's called, the side of the three-piece seal rides on. And it's got a little bit of plating issues, but that's well within Mazda's spec, and it's definitely usable. It's way more than usable, actually. So I'm pretty stoked. I'm pretty stoked because I've got a new housing now, and I've sent out my rotors to Built to Apex. They're going to take about a half pound out of each one, going to get it all lightened up. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. So later on, I had a friend of mine, Michael, over. I was helping fix his AC, and he's going through all my Apex seals, and he caught this. I didn't catch this. He actually caught this. He found this one Apex seal had a huge chip taken out of the corner of it. I don't know how I missed this during teardown, but obviously I wasn't looking hard enough, or I was just too stressed at the time. And yeah, he's like, "Dude, check this out," and I was like, "No fucking way." The shape of the chip that got taken out is exactly the same size of the impact site. It obviously banged around in there for a while. So yeah, I mean, it all fits together. I obviously had a lack of lubrication, maybe a little bit of detonation, but there was something going on in the front housing that caused that one apex seal to fail. And that's the puzzle pieces all fit together. And unfortunately, that's what happened. Here's some other stuff that I picked up though. I want to show you guys this. It's called it's like this is the Apexy one, but there's like a super cooling Ginjiro. It's like a AST replacement. This one's got a custom bracket. I have no idea where it goes. And then I also picked up this Nardi buckskin classic wheel. Got a good deal on this from Up Garage as well. And you've seen this in like the last video or something like that. But I want to show you guys this as well. And if you guys stay tuned, you like my content, I want you guys stick around and watch some of my videos that I got coming up, because I'll show you things like this. This is a AC delete, kind of like, not delete, AC relocation panel that I made. I moved all the components and kind of made room for a custom gauge, and did my own thing here. So if you guys like this kind of content, you like seeing what I do, kind of out of the box kind of stuff, then stay tuned, check it out. Like, share, comment. That all helps my channel grow. And I hope you guys stay tuned for more of this FD content, more of this rebuild. Thanks. Peace.